Hi, and welcome to my page where we are discussing everything and anything legal. My name is Sheila Kololo, a double master's graduate, a junior forensic investigator, currently on secondment as a candidate attorney. So today our topic will be how I passed all 4 of my board exams. So I started my PVT contract on the 14th of January 2024, and in August I took a bold decision that I'm going to write all 4 of my attorney's admission exams. And mother, did I not come back with a pass for all 4 years, including paper 3, the mother of all papers that the LPC has everyone with. So when I announced initially on LinkedIn and Facebook that I passed all 4 of my board exams, a lot of people just wanted to know how I managed. Like, a lot of candidate attorneys DM'd me asking, like, how did you do it, from the resources to the time management they were really invested. And I decided that, okay, maybe we should make a video. So today I'll be discussing how I passed paper 1, and the other papers, more videos will follow addressing those. So tune into my page and don't miss out. You are definitely gonna ace those exams, guys. There's no such thing as board exams are difficult. Tried and tested. The board exams are not difficult. Delete that from your brain and believe me, you will pass. Okay, so my study strategy was as follows. Number 1, I studied using only the LEAD guide. Guys, LEAD and LPC are like the best of friends that are inseparable when it comes to legal education. And for a fact, whatever is on the LEAD guide is what we would be tested on by the LPC. Tried and tested, and I will show you guys when I later review the high court practice part. So the LEAD guide is your best bet, and for paper 1 you would need your high court practice, match court practice, criminal court practice, and personal injury claims study guide. Those 4 guides are what you need to pass your paper 1. So now that you've got your LEAD guide, number 2, every study guide has study units, and every study unit has a study outcome. And this is what I did. So with every study unit, I would go on and look at the study outcome and understand that, okay, so the academics that compiled the study guide, this is what they're expecting me to know at the end of my study. And as I was studying, I kept that at the back of my mind to say that, okay, this is what I need to know. And as soon as I was done studying that unit, I would go back, revisit my study outcome, and make sure that, okay, yes, I've achieved the purpose of this study unit. Then I know I'm on the right track. Step number 3, the most important one that you should not undermine, your self-assessment question. High court and match court, as well as criminal court practice, have self-assessment questions at the end of each and every unit. Guys, do these self-assessment questions. They actually do repeat as questions. Obviously, they're not going to repeat it word for word, but if you've done that, believe me, there is no question that will actually be difficult for you. So do your self-assessment questions. And for personal injury claims, because they don't really have there isn't really self-assessment questions, do your examples, read your examples, your case study examples, read that, because they actually sometimes do come up. I've seen it in the previous papers as questions in your exam. Now in August that did not happen, but it has happened before. So guys, with these 3 tips, there is no way that you will find paper 1 difficult. Your LEAD guide, number 1. Number 2, your study outcomes, what they want you to know at the end of every unit. Number 3, your self-assessment questions, very important. Okay guys, so another important factor that I almost forgot was testing yourself with past papers. I know LEAD is very high on do not rely on past papers. They are basically saying do not study using past papers. But to test your knowledge, no, they are not saying no to that. Okay, now so let's test my method and see if it works. And believe me, if you had studied using this strategy, you would have definitely passed paper 1. Now let's have a look at our question 1 for the August paper. So it read that you entered appearance to defend on behalf of your client, the defendant. The relevant portion of the particulars of claim relating to the cause of action for claiming damages is set out hereunder. For purpose of answering this part of the question, you may assume that the parties were correctly cited, that the court has jurisdiction to entertain the matter, that the quantum of the claim for damages was set out correctly, and that the relevant relief was sought in the prayers. The self-assessment quiz on the LEAD guide read as follows. Your client hands you a combined summons that was served on him. The relevant portion of the particulars of claim relating to the cause of action is set out hereunder. For purposes of answering the question, you may assume that the parties were correctly cited, that the court has jurisdiction to entertain the matter, and that the quantum of the damages was set out correctly, and that the relevant relief was sought out in prayers. So again, without a doubt, the question came from the self-assessment. Now going to our question 2. So question 2 of our paper read as follows. Your client James Jones, a major male carpenter, hands you summons issued from the Eastern Cape Local Division Bishop on the 19th of July 2024 and served on him by the sheriff at his place of residence at 7 West Street, Pretoria, on the 24th of July 2024. Perusing the particulars of claim, you know that the plaintiff claim is based on an acknowledgement of debt signed by your client on the 20th of July 2021 in Pretoria, in which he undertook to pay the plaintiff, Mark Andrew, an amount of 1.2 million on or before the 31st of July 2021. And now the question was, explain to your client what a special plea is and to also draft the special plea that is applicable. So question 7 of the 2021 paper read as follows. Your client, Mr. Pete Botha, a major male, hands you summons issued from the Eastern Cape Local Division in Port Elizabeth on the 28th of February 2021 and served on him by the sheriff on the 14th of April 2021 at his place of residence, 7 West Street, Makanda, situated in the main division of the Eastern Cape. Perusing the summons, you note that the plaintiff, Peter Brown's claim is based on an acknowledgement of debt. I will not read the question, the scenario further. And then the question was, explain to your client what a special plea means. List 6 special pleas, and then draft only the special plea that you have in mind. In this case, include only the heading. This was the same question, and the only difference was the extra question which was asked in 2021. And now going on to question 3. So question 3, if you can look at basically dealt with the number of days in terms of service. And if you did the self-assessment questions on page 102 of the LEAD guide, where there was a number of questions regarding service, the number of days and all that, there is no way that you wouldn't have bagged this 4 marks in full. So now moving on to question 4. Okay, so we're gonna skip question 5 because I didn't do it, and question 4 because it was a list type of a question. So generally that like you shouldn't really struggle with just listing, you know, if you really studied. And now our last question of high court practice. So question 6 read as follows. You act on behalf of Mr. Bang, who was involved in a motor vehicle collision at the intersection of Jack Street and Jill Street in Bloemfontein. Your client is the owner of the motor vehicle which he was driving with registration number ABC123GP and instructed that the driver of the other vehicle with registration number XYZ789NW disobeyed a traffic light and collided with his vehicle. So I will not read the question further, but it was for drafting a particulars of claim. And now coming to question 11 of the March 2019 paper, these were the facts. You act on behalf of your client who instructs you to issue summons against Mr. D, who resides in Pretoria. His claim is for damages resulting from a motor vehicle collision. The claim amounts to 150,000. The accident occurred on 3 February and your client's version is that Mr. D was solely responsible for the accident. The place of the accident is on corner of Jan Smuts Avenue and Conrad Avenue, Johannesburg. Your client also lives in Johannesburg and wishes to have the summons issued in Johannesburg. And then the further facts is just on the registration number, draft particulars of claim, omit headings and endings. So you see, essentially again, if you practiced using a past papers, you would have got this right. And in a nutshell, those are the tips that you need to pass this paper. And oh, please don't forget drafting. I'm not going to say too much, but as an attorney, you know the importance of drafting. And civil, which is match court, high court, and personal injury, is about. If you found this content helpful in preparation for your 2025 board exams, please hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to share the videos with your friends as they also prepare. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this goes to my university students. I also have something in line for you guys. If you're struggling with any module and you feel that you can't really grasp in the lecture, please drop me a DM and ask me to address that for you. I will make a video and help you break down into the tiniest pieces. Legal education is not that difficult. We just need to know how to apply and understand the basic laws and case law. Thank you, and bye until next time.